Welcome to the Pennsylvania Case Law Update While You Drive podcast. You give us less than 20 minutes per week, we will make sure you never miss changes in the law. This week's episode is brought to you by the McShane Firm. For nearly 20 years, the attorneys of the McShane Firm have been trusted by our neighbors and our friends to represent them in DUI and criminal law cases.
Thank you for joining us for episode 34 of the Pennsylvania Case Law Update While You Drive podcast. I'm your host, Katie McShane, and today we are covering cases decided between February 10th, 2021 and February 16th, 2021. There's only one notable case this week, which comes to us from the Commonwealth Court. The case of Lancaster County District Attorney's Office versus Walker addresses information that is required to be turned over when it comes to civil forfeitures under the Controlled Substances Act. This case came to be when a reporter requested certain records under the right to know law. The reporter was specifically looking for the names of people who purchased forfeited items at a police auction. The Controlled Substances Law says that forfeited items cannot be purchased by law enforcement officers or their families, and the reporter wanted to make sure that the law was being complied with. The names of purchasers had been turned over in other counties, but the Lancaster County District Attorney's Office refused. They claimed that the requested records were exempt to the right to know law because they sought information that would be prepared for the Attorney General's audit and thus was not to be disseminated. They also claimed they were exempt as criminal and non-criminal investigative records. The Office of Open Records ordered the DA's office to turn over the records, and the District Attorney's Office appealed. At the trial court, the Office of Open Records was overturned. The court stated that the request was non-specific as to the names of purchasers at the auction, and second, that the disclosure of the information would raise privacy concerns. Walker appealed to the Commonwealth Court, bringing us to this current case. The Commonwealth Court addresses both the issue of specificity and the privacy balancing test. To determine whether a request is sufficiently specific, the court examines the subject matter of the request, the scope of the documents sought, and the time frame for which the records are sought. The subject matter of the request must identify the transaction or activity of the agency for which the record is sought. The Commonwealth Court found that the request here met all of the requirements for specificity. In regards to the privacy interests, the court found that disclosure of public records promotes access to official government information in order to prohibit secrets, scrutinize the action of public officials, and to make public officials accountable for their actions. While there is a privacy interest in the names of the bidders at the auction, it is outweighed by the significant public interest in ensuring that law enforcement officials not participate as bidders in the auction to their own personal benefit. The Commonwealth Court overruled the trial court, reinstating the rule of the Office of Open Records. The names of bidders must be released, though other identifying information such as phone number, address, and driver's license numbers need not be turned over. That's all for this week. If you're interested in the other cases that were decided, the full text to each, including this case, can be found in the case notes. Thank you once again for joining us. Have a great week.
Thank you for listening to the Pennsylvania Case Law Update While You Drive podcast. Be sure to subscribe to this podcast and our YouTube channel to make sure that you are always in the know when it comes to important changes in Pennsylvania case law. We want to thank this week's sponsor, the McShane Firm. The McShane Firm is a central Pennsylvania fixture when it comes to DUI and criminal defense. The attorneys and staff at the McShane Firm believe in good old-fashioned central Pennsylvania values like hard work and straight talking. Give them a call if you or a loved one ever needs help.